They were the future of track and field, dominating junior championships and shattering records.
Oh,
Names like Christopher Taylor and Brianna Lyston echoed with promise. But then, silence. What truly happened to these phenomenal athletes who seemed destined for Olympic glory? Join us as we uncover the shocking truth behind their disappearances from the world stage. Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. Today we re-diving into a topic that's both fascinating and a little heartbreaking, the vanishing stars of track and field. We've all seen them young prodigies who tear up the track, setting age group records that seem almost superhuman. They're hailed as the next Usain Bolt or Shelly Ann Fraser-Price. We follow their junior careers with excitement, eagerly awaiting their transition to the senior professional ranks. But then, for some, that transition never fully happens. They just fade away. Two of the most poignant examples of this phenomenon are Christopher Taylor and Brianna Lyston, both from the track and field powerhouse of Jamaica. If you followed junior athletics in the last decade, these names are legendary. They weren't just good, they were generational talents. So the big question is, where are they now? And what does their story tell us about the immense pressures and hidden pitfalls facing young athletes? Let's start with Christopher Taylor. From a very young age, he was a sensation. At the Boys and Girls Athletics Championships in Jamaica, better known as Champs, he was a superstar. He dominated every age group he competed in. In 2015, at just 15 years old, he won the World Youth Championships 400-meter title. He was running times that senior athletes would be proud of. His talent was undeniable. He had a powerful, fluid stride and a competitive fire that was incredible to watch. The world was his oyster. He was the chosen one, the heir apparent to Jamaica's sprinting throne. Taylor continued his dominance through his junior years, collecting medals and breaking records. He even made the Olympic final in the 400 meters in Tokyo 2020, finishing 6th. This was a huge accomplishment for a young athlete. It seemed like the perfect launchpad for a glittering senior career. But since then, his presence on the international circuit has been inconsistent at best. He's been plagued by injuries and has struggled to recapture the form that made him so dominant as a junior. It's a classic case that leaves fans and analysts asking, what went wrong? The story of Brianna Lyston is just as compelling, if not more so. Lyston burst onto the scene in a way that was impossible to ignore. In 2017, at just 12 years old, she ran a jaw-dropping 23.72 seconds in the 200 meters. The media went wild. Comparisons to Usain Bolt were immediate, not just because of her talent, but because she seemed to possess that same effortless speed. She was a prodigy in the truest sense of the word. Throughout her time at St. Iago High School, she was a standout, winning multiple titles at Champs and setting records that still stand today. Her junior career culminated in a spectacular performance at the 2022 World Under-20 Championships, where she won gold in the 200 meters with a championship record of 22.65 seconds. She looked every bit the future world and Olympic champion. After that, she signed a professional contract and joined a top-tier training group. The expectation was that she would immediately start making waves on the Diamond League circuit. But that hasn't happened. Similar to Taylor, Lyston has been conspicuously absent from major competitions. Rumors of injuries and adjustment difficulties have circulated, leaving her many fans worried and confused. So, what are the common threads here? Why do these can't-miss kids sometimes miss? The first and most obvious culprit is injuries. The physical toll of competing at such a high level from a young age is immense. An athlete's body is still developing, and the constant strain of training and competition can lead to chronic injuries that are difficult to overcome. The Jamaican high school system, while producing incredible talent, is notoriously grueling. Athletes might compete in multiple events over a packed weekend, putting incredible stress on their young bodies. This early burnout is a very real problem. But it's not just physical. The mental pressure is astronomical. Imagine being 15 years old and having the entire nation's hopes on your shoulders. You're labeled the next big thing. Every race is scrutinized. Every loss is a national disappointment. That's a heavy burden for anyone to carry, let alone a teenager. This pressure can strip away the joy of the sport and turn it into a high-stakes job before they're even old enough to vote. Mental health is a critical component of athletic success, and for a long time, it was an aspect that was largely ignored in the hyper-competitive world of youth sports. Then there's the transition to the professional circuit itself. It's a huge leap. The junior ranks, you might be the big fish in a small pond. When you turn pro, you're suddenly competing against seasoned veterans who have been navigating the circuit for years. The training is harder, the competition is fiercer, and the lifestyle is completely different. You're no longer surrounded by your high school teammates. You might move to a new country, join a new training group, and have a new coach. This adjustment period can be incredibly challenging, and not everyone makes it through successfully. There's also the financial aspect. Signing a big professional contract as a teenager sounds like a dream come true, but it comes with its own set of pressures. Suddenly, your performance is directly tied to your income. A bad season can have serious financial repercussions. This can lead to athletes pushing their bodies too hard, competing when they're not fully healthy, ultimately shortening their careers. The guidance and management an athlete receives during this crucial transition period are paramount. A good support system can make all the difference, while a poor one can lead a promising career astray. So, where does this leave Christopher Taylor and Brianna Lyston? It's important to state that their stories are not over. Taylor is still only in his mid-20s, and Lyston is even younger. In the world of track and field, they still have time to turn things around. We've seen many athletes have a quiet few years before re-emerging stronger than ever. The talent that made them junior phenoms doesn't just disappear. It's still there. The challenge is to overcome the physical and mental hurdles that have stalled their progress. Their stories serve as a powerful cautionary tale. They highlight the systemic issues within youth sports that need to be addressed. We need better systems in place to protect young athletes, both physically and mentally. We need to manage their workload, provide them with mental health support, and guide them through the perilous transition to the professional ranks. We, as fans and media, also have a role to play. We need to temper our expectations and stop placing superhuman expectations on the shoulders of children. We should celebrate their junior achievements without anointing them as future Olympic champions before they've even finished high school. The path to stardom is not a straight line. It's filled with twists, turns, and setbacks. Wherever Usain Bolt, who seamlessly transitions from junior prodigy to global icon, there are countless others whose journey is far more complicated. The stories of Christopher Taylor and Brianna Lyston are not necessarily stories of failure, but rather stories of struggle. They are a reminder that behind the record-breaking times and the shiny medals, these are human beings dealing with incredible challenges. You can only hope that they find the support, health, and happiness they need to rediscover their love for the sport and fulfill their immense potential. Whether they make it back to the top of the podium or not, their journey offers valuable lessons for the entire athletic community. We'll be watching and hoping for the best for both of them, and for the next generation of young talent that follows. Let's create an environment where they can thrive. It's not just for a few years as juniors, but for a long and healthy career. Thanks for watching. What are your thoughts on this? Do you know of other athletes with similar stories? Let me know in the comments below. And if you found this video insightful, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more deep dives into the world of sports. See you in the next one.